One way to share the gospel while traveling, I was on an airplane recently flying to Ireland from the United States. And as I sat down, there was a woman next to me, and she was actually going to change her seat because there was an empty row. And she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go spread out." And she had told me a few seconds before that she was going to go on past Ireland and go to Spain. And she was there with her husband. And as she was kind of looking around and thinking like, "Oh, I'm gonna, go into that empty seat just so I could spread out in that empty row," I asked one question that saved the conversation and kept her there for the entire flight. And all I said was, "What are you doing in Spain?" And she said, "Oh, well, my husband and I were missionaries with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints," meaning they were from a Mormon background. And we started talking, and I said, "Oh, that's great. I'm a Christian, and I'm so excited to hear that you have a faith background. So few people do." And she's like, "Oh, wow." And so she started talking with me, and before we knew it, the plane was taking off, and they didn't end up changing their seats. And she was sharing with me her beliefs. And after I had listened for a long time, I kind of started asking questions. And I said, "Oh, well, it's interesting that you say that your founder, Joseph Smith, saw Jesus and saw God the Father, that they appeared to him. Because doesn't it say in the Bible that the next time that Jesus comes back, all eyes will see him? It's going to be like a flash of lightning, meaning very public, and everyone will be aware. And doesn't it also say in the Bible that when Jesus comes back, he's going to come back on the Mount of Olives?" And as I was telling her this, the whole plane started shaking, and it really felt like we were gonna just drop out of the sky. I was so scared. So I actually had my eyes closed at one point, and I was like, "Do you have the book of Acts?" And she said, "Yeah, I do." And so she was on her phone looking up the book of Acts, and I said, "Could you find the part where Jesus goes back into the sky and the angel says, this same Jesus who went up is going to come down in the same way that you saw him," meaning back down on the Mount of Olives. And she was looking this up on her phone, and I said, "How could he have come back to appear to the founder, your founder, if that wasn't in the Mount of Olives?" And I was just sort of asking these questions in a really gentle way, and I kept saying, I said, it's so interesting what you're telling me, but what I found in my life is that I have to be so careful because there's so much deception in the world. And she's like, yeah, there really is a lot of deception. She's like, "You're right, we do have to be really careful about why we believe what we believe." So it was a really great way to share the gospel and share biblical Christianity with her.